Please welcome Senator Pauline Hanson. She's the founder and leader of the One Nation political party.
It's great to see so many people and taking an interest in this next election, so I think it's absolutely fantastic to see you here. Look, thank you for the opportunity to speak here this evening. From the outset, I want to make it absolutely clear that I support freedom of religion as long as it doesn't impinge on anyone else's rights. Freedom of religion is a fundamental democratic right which is just as important as freedom of speech. The creators of the Australian Constitution understood the importance of religious freedom. Section 116 says, "The Commonwealth shall not make any law for prohibiting the free exercise of any religion." Most Australians identify as having some form of religious belief, yet many today do not feel safe expressing their beliefs in public. They don't feel safe bringing the perspectives of their faith to national debates on any issue. They feel silenced, they feel censored, they feel marginalised, they feel disenfranchised. They have every reason to feel this way. One Nation was prepared to support the government's religious discrimination bill in the form it was before Scott Morrison capitulated to Liberal moderates and announced more protections for students who didn't need them. This is because federal legislation is necessary to override anti-discrimination legislation passed by rogue states, governments targeting religious practices. One Nation will also oppose the repeal of Section 38(3) of the Sex Discrimination Act, which removed religious exemptions to the Act. We won't support this blatant attempt to open a new era of political activism and harassment against religious schools, the exact opposite of what the Religious Discrimination Bill is supposed to achieve. We won't allow the Greens, Labor, or the Liberal moderates and other activists use this change for new attacks aimed at destroying religious schools. The fact is that gay and transgender students at their schools are not being discriminated against. These schools are like any other. They believe in educating children, not persecuting them. If you were a religious parent who sent their child to a religious school, you'd have every right to expect the school to maintain the tenets of the faith it espouses instead of surrendering it to woke activism. That's why it's important to have a strong One Nation presence on the Senate crossbench after this election. One Nation senators will stand with Australians of faith against the religious intolerance of the woke Labor, Greens and Liberal moderates. We'll make sure religious discrimination legislation does what it's supposed to. Protect Australians of faith from discrimination where Labor and the Greens will not. All Australians have the right to believe and must be able to exercise their belief free of discrimination. Thank you.